cheapest place to go. Panama City Beach. I'm not a big fan of,
We've already been there.
Yes.
It's the same old, same old.
Yes.
Everybody from Whitewater goes there.
Yes. I've done it 2, maybe 3 times.
I just saw something else, too.
What?
Okay, so regardless, we have a whole week down there. We've got Panama City. There's Daytona. We could take a road trip for a day down there. We could go to Miami if we wanted to. We can go to, like, some of the college areas, like
Well,
FU.
going from Panama City to Miami is quite a long drive.
I think
but-
it's 4 hours, but even so.
4.
3 hours? You just
No.
wake up in the morning, Ed drives, we'll be sleeping still.
Oh yeah. Don't mean to interrupt. We're gonna be sleeping in a van. That's why this spring break is gonna be so affordable. Our roommate Ed, we haven't really cleared this with him yet, but he's gonna drive. We're gonna take his huge child molester van, and then we'll sleep in that. So
And the other thing is, Houston has a gas card.
gas will be free. Room will be free. We will have to make some sandwiches or something ahead of time.
Well, you might need a cooler for that. That's not one of those that have been laying out in the yard from old Christmas. Whenever.
Okay, we couldn't get a hold of Houston yet.
No.
Okay, so it would be you, me, Ed, Houston. We got room for one more, even though when we do sleep in the van, it's gonna be tight.
Well, you got
fit.
the 2 seats up front. That's not the end of the world.
You got the those you can lean back, I think.
Yeah.
You got the 2, so we could sleep 6 comfortably.
I went down there with Glenn, and regardless of that, Glenn always had a way to manipulate people into giving him beer, buying him beer, anything like that. So we would walk around, and he'd go up to some girls, start talking to him, and it's like, oh, let's get a case of beer. And then we'd go there, we'd check it out, he's like, oh, I forgot my money, could you cover this one? I'll get the next time. And then he would just ditch them.
That's a good plan. Well, dude, everybody's drunk down there too, so it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah. Isn't alcohol beer cheaper down there?
No, they mark it up a little bit because they know everybody's coming down there to drink.
Well, in that case, we could stock up here in Wisconsin with some Beast,
Yeah.
with a cooler. Get like just pack the thing, cover it.
Well, dude, we gotta have some sandwiches in there too.
Oh, fuck that shit. We don't need to worry about sandwiches.
Instead of
until-
having ice in the cooler, our ice will be cold beers.
Yeah, we can even sleep out in the sand if we really wanted to. I'm sure that's regulated, but
We could really do this.
ironically. Well,
Should we talk to Ed about it? Should we get Ed in here?
yeah.
He's got his back to the camera, but this is Ed. He's gonna be our driver on this spring break. And dude, we are putting together the cheapest spring break ever.
Alright.
We
You guys got
sleep-
plans then?
We sleep
Just
in the van.
made plans. And how hard
We
is
can-
that? That'll be perfect. Because
I think that the van
Well, how
can
many
sleep.
people? How many people were you planning?
I think the van can sleep 6 comfortably, but I'm thinking we could roll down with just 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
It would be Houston, Elliot, you, me, and if you know of anybody else that is interested in going, I'm sure we'd easily, dude. No one is gonna turn this spring break down. I mean, this is gonna be almost as cheap as just not going on spring break.
It actually might even itself out because you think if we were here in Wisconsin for spring break, we'd be like, oh, we've got nothing to do. Where are we going? Milwaukee. Let's go to some clubs in Milwaukee.
I would.
Just live it up.
You guys would.
Yeah.
And that would be probably as expensive as like 4 days there. The other thing is though, last time I went on spring break at Panama City, it was the same time as high school spring break. So we went down there and
Dude, you had Ed at high school.
I know I
Ed-
had Ed at high school. But
Thanks
it
for
was
getting out
all
of the camera,
high
too.
school. And ironically, that made it even cheaper because a bunch of high school kids were like, oh, hey Glenn, go buy us some beer and we'll share it with you. So Glenn would go buy the beer and it would just be, now New York would be fun, but it would be a lot more
So
expensive.
that's what I was thinking.
Not if we're,
also.
dude, it wouldn't be expensive if we're sleeping in a van.
So we're making all this, what happens if Houston's like, oh, well, I'm I'm gonna be hanging out with someone else spring break.
The next challenge that we have is talking Houston into being 100% in.
We're
Stage
talking into
two.
an